Welcome, everybody, to this ChannelVision Magazine podcast. Today, we welcome our good friends with SIB Fixed Cost Reduction. In particular, we have the SVP of the Technology Division, our good friend, Warren Reyburn. What's going on, Warren? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Brady. Pleasure to speak with you here this afternoon, and likewise, as always, just worth acknowledging our longstanding partnership and all the value you collectively, you and Burge and the whole team there have supplied over the years, and whether it was with Telesystem, most recently Comstar and New Era, but now with SIB. So it's a longstanding, much valued partnership, and wonderful to reconnect with you and the audience here this afternoon.
Always a great thing, Warren. If you could tell us a little bit about SIB. Maybe there are some people listening that aren't as familiar.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are at our core, we are a expense reduction organization. We've been in business for 15 years proper as SIB, but it's worth noting, Brady, the company has completed 6 acquisitions over roughly the last 5 years. So through those acquired companies, can boast of 20 years or better of experience across a wide range of expense categories. Um, at SIB, and I think this is a differentiator, relatively speaking, but we have a diverse set of skills and subject matter expertise. So as you referenced, myself, I'm on the technology side of the business. We have our SIB team. We also have an acquired company which we've profiled previously in ChannelVision Magazine, Sage Management. Sage does an incredible amount of work and drives value, specifically within the carrier wholesale environments. So the wholesale marketplace, working with several of the top 10 carriers globally today to come in over the top of their own finance and accounting teams to conduct inventory studies, related audits, and cost reduction initiatives on their behalf. So that's the technology side. We have capabilities in all things voice, data, internet, also mobility and cable television. But over the last 18 months, Brady, and a big part of it, in the additions of SaaS expense management and infrastructure expense management, a lot of that was spurred by a piece in ChannelVision going back to April of 2022, and another revisit that you guys performed in 2023 for that matter, which sparked my interest and pointed out the obvious, that the pandemic, as advertised, led to an explosion in SaaS spend, infrastructure spend, and otherwise. So we're here to help meet that demand. I have peers, Brady, in energy, waste, and utilities, a third group that specializes in all things logistics, so shipping and freight. And then we also have a group of subject matter experts as kind of a general catch-all category, from operating expenses to SG&A value. So we'll look at payroll, property taxes, merchant fees, bank fees, treasury fees, more or less any recurring expense that a business can bring to the table. So, our target verticals, Brady, in terms of what we do, the MDU space, hospitality, health systems, in summary, just about anything that's multi-location, geographically disparate in orientation. We do a lot of work in retail, quick restaurants, fine dining, etc. But also for that matter, we have a group that today, one of our acquired companies does a tremendous amount of work in the public sector. So for the audience, if you're in that space or want to get into that space, we should definitely have a conversation. This group has been doing it for a long time. We have the state of Maryland as a quick example as one of our clients. We service 7 of the 10 largest counties in California today, the state education, higher education system of California for that matter. So there's a tremendous amount of depth. And like I said, we cover quite a few categories. We can work in just about any vertical, but I wanted to highlight a few that are of particular specialization here. And there's a lot of exciting stuff that hopefully we can cover here in the next couple of minutes to get everybody up to speed in terms of who SIB is today. But nonetheless, like I said, hopefully that helps from a summary level standpoint.
Excellent, Warren. Now, because this is ChannelVision Magazine, I do have to ask you, what does SIB specifically kind of bring to the channel? Like, what are the differentiation points?
Great question. And I'm glad that, we followed up the introduction with just this very topic, because we just hired a global channel chief, Brady. We see untapped potential, right now. We've kind of, organically gotten down the path of engaging the channel. But what we know we can do a better job, on behalf of our existing partners and in terms of bringing in new partners for that matter, and based on what we do, driving value operationally and financially. What partners can expect from SIB is, three things. At our core, we deliver an enriched inventory of the respective services under review, inventory inclusive of contract management. We have a whole host of software solutions and automation at our disposal that help accelerate our reviews, memorialize our findings, validate our results. So ultimately we want to inform the end user, what they have today, what they're using, and optimizing those considerations on their behalf, modernizing those environments as well, where applicable. And secondly, Brady, we're in the space of obviously cost containment, cost avoidance, and so future state, and then also expense reduction, as the name implies. So we want to understand and monitor the cost as they are today, and be an assist in any management capacity and reporting capacity, analytical capacity that we can. We want to look to help our clients avoid future budget impact. And a great example of that is in the SaaS space today. We all see those year-over-year increases, those uplift considerations. How can we help negotiate those things away? And again, better future-proof budgets in the process. And then obviously, as I said, with the expense reduction considerations, we have 1,500 plus automated audits at our disposal today. A good bit of work that we do, I'll say from a technology perspective, is in the area of taxes, surcharges, and fees. So as you said, what makes us different? I would say that focus in and of itself is a big differentiator. And we actually provide those results to a half dozen partners today who white label as much to their clients. From that auditing component and contract compliance studies, we get down the path of, the optimization piece, plan analysis, negotiation based on our $24 billion benchmark database that we have at our disposal. We're very confident when it comes to, taking appropriate action on behalf of our clients. At the same time, I mentioned the SAGE component of things, Brady, and it's important to note, in doing that work on behalf of the carrier community, we certainly have established a good working relationship and reputation within that community. So, ultimately, when we need to get things done on behalf of a client, we're pretty confident in our ability to do so. From there, from the optimization side, let's talk about right sizing. It's simple. Are you using what you're paying for today? I would offer that we have after we go through that inventory piece where we interrogate utilization reports, voice and data, internet services, we conduct our modem ping exercises. We've got our location true up situated. I mean, we even have boots on the ground to help clients determine at the end of the day what those applications are, those assets and the associated applications are being used for. So we try to, as I said, pride ourselves on the inventory piece, cleaning things up, getting, again, the most cost-effective rates available, on behalf of the clients, working with incumbents. We can also make those transitions happen where we need to between suppliers if they're unhappy. The third aspect of our deliverable is also a differentiator, Brady, and that's that managed services piece. So at the highest level possible, we pride ourselves on not simply depositing savings considerations into a portal with no subsequent action, or simply delivering them by way of an email. I mean, at the end of the day, in my opinion, the clients know better off than they were prior to that respective engagement when they were working off of their internal worksheets and so on. So we have an entire bank of project managers at our disposal. We're going to see through those recommendations at the clients, with their approval. We have no signatory rights. Everything we do is approved by our clients in writing. But it's incumbent upon us then to make sure that we get that executed. And then every month through the engagement cycle, if it's a 12-month agreement or a 36-month support agreement, we're validating those results each and every month. So an invoice that shows the spend prior to, and then an invoice that shows the impact, of our actions and the savings that resulted. So there's a lot to unpack there. But again, at the end of the day, it's in summary, 3 bullets: enriched informed inventory, cost containment, cost avoidance, and expense reduction, and then thirdly, our managed services overlay.
Warren, as you mentioned, SIB has a presence in a lot of different verticals. How do you kind of see the overall marketplace, and what are the needs that are evolving with time?
Well, one of the areas that we're targeting, Brady, is the private equity space and investment world. Because we see ourselves coming in either pre or post acquisition and driving value for the investment community. So whereby we can come in and positively impact that EBITDA number, um, and elevate the valuation of that asset as it goes to market, or as it comes into the PE group or investment portfolio, whereby we can rapidly improve upon the ROI. Um, we can illuminate where things can be done better, more efficiently. And as I said, really do pride ourselves on driving both financial and operational value. Um, so that's, I think, again, with all of what we're seeing today in the M&A space, I think that's important to note. That is a focus for this business. We have dedicated resources and behind this effort. And today, directly or indirectly, we're working with over 200 PE groups, and some of the largest, frankly, for that matter, globally. And we're coming in over the top of their own value creation teams, Brady, for that matter, because of what we do and how holistic it is. There's a lot of other players in the channel, admittedly, and it's, we don't simply want to be another, me too, in the space. It's a matter of taking the technology piece and, as I said, bringing those other elements to bear, if it's waste, energy, and utilities or otherwise. But nonetheless, I think that the PE focus is something I would offer here. In terms of the general marketplace, look, I think post-pandemic, certainly in hospitality, senior living, and justifiably so, the sensitivity to cost. We're helping in that holistic fashion. I think also responding to the needs of our clients quickly, as we've done with the SaaS expense management offering and the infrastructure piece. We quite literally had an answer ready to go for our clients and proactively offered reviews of, their Broadcom environment / VMware, and for good reason. We can turn results around in the infrastructure space quite literally within 3 to 5 business days, and it takes less than an hour to integrate the accounts. So again, it's that ability to respond quickly to things, Brady, listening to the marketplace, being responsive, being a responsible partner, and being flexible. And like I said, as much as anything else, the execution and validation of what we do is huge. A lot of folks we talk to simply say, in closing for my end, in terms of what I'm seeing in the market, a lot of the resistance to an expense management engagement is they've been down that path. They haven't necessarily seen the value. I understand firsthand how difficult it is to engineer these relationships at the client level. I had a 22-year career in the carrier space. We were exclusively channel in orientation, in sales, telesystem before I left. It's a partner's livelihood. It's that simple. It's that annuity component. And we want to make sure that we can drive value. We want to make sure that we add to that piece of things, and we're sensitive to the potential impact that any form of failure can have. So, we own that responsibility, and we simply want to help at the client level, at the partner level. So again, going back to that resistance, we get it. People have been burned or not seen the results in the past. And so for us, it's really, we offer free POCs, Brady, as an example, in both the cloud and the SaaS space. We have a kickoff call whereby we go through initial results within 7 to 10 days of every engagement. And if we don't find that value, based on our contingency model or gain share, there's no cost. We want to prove it. And I think that's the biggest thing. And so, yeah, I think it's overcoming those objections through action and execution and validation that ultimately make a difference. And we want to join forces with the agent community. I would say this in closing on the final point, part of me, Brady. It's kind of an interesting thought here, but we've come into a few engagements recently where there is an agent partner, and I've actually, quite literally called the partner offline and said, "Hey, look, I know you're in here. We're going to go through this exercise. We want to present these things jointly with you. We don't want to undercut your relationship. you may or may not yourself be aware of some of these things. Who knows if they have all the invoices, for example, that we collect through our AP file exchanges with the client. Let's educate one another. Let's join, forces here. Let's address a unified strategy, and let's win together. And I think that's important too. Having that background as I do in the agent space, as I said before, I know how difficult it is to close those sales and to maintain those relationships. We want to be a part of your retention strategy, Brady, and that's really fundamentally at the core of it all.
Such a breath of fresh air, Warren. You mentioned a little bit ago specifically about not wanting to be another, I think you called it an Me Too piece. So what's new for SIB that's going to help set it apart a little bit?
Well, we've got a new financial sponsor, Brady, as of November. So, having gone through that process now twice, in terms of PE engagement, I know it evokes a different response, depending on who you ask at any point in time within the channel. Some people have a positive, outlook on PE's influence. Others, it's distinctly negative. I would offer that we've had a very positive experience ourselves. I mean, look, frankly, in our case, there's a great deal that our new financial sponsor is doing to accelerate, a lot of the goals that we've had in terms of automation and integration between business units. We would love to, at some point, Brady, for example, make available a universal dashboard, something simple whereby a client can log in and see the spend that we have reviewed, the outstanding spend in other areas, our results in real time, but quite literally on one homepage. That's it. So, we're seeing, we're seeing that positive impact, from the standpoint of our own interaction with the PE folks, the ability to respond quickly, as I said, to market demand, the SaaS and the cloud offerings, the M&A component. That's certainly something that's going to be omnipresent for us from a strategic standpoint. We've had those 6 roll-ups. Our target is to have anywhere from 3 to 5 more before the end of the year, and ultimately another 10 to 12 completed by year end 2025. So, we intend on becoming a much bigger player in this space, but ultimately doing everything in our power to maintain that core deliverables, pardon me, those 3 items that I mentioned previously: the inventory, cost avoidance, cost containment, and expense reduction. And then thirdly, the execution and validation aspects of things. It's accelerating that contribution and going deeper and wider, ultimately enhancing our own internal efficiencies that we can extend to our clients. Those are some of those new things, if you like, that we're looking forward to internally, as for sure, and our help. Again, from our financial sponsor can't be, it can't be negated in any way, shape, or form. It's been a very, very positive relationship through these first 7 to 8 months for sure.
What can we expect from the company in the future, kind of looking forward?
Well, firstly, this is one of the initial steps we're taking to get certainly enable a larger presence in the channel. We're looking to illuminate what we're doing. We're looking to reinforce our value proposition, those differentiators. We're looking for partners, and I know it's I think it's an abused term, unfortunately, today. But I hope with some of the examples that I've provided you, and to the extent that and again, just going back to the simple example I gave you, where we learned that there's another party involved, and we're proactively reaching out in those cases. That in and of itself is I think unique. The last thing I want to have happen. Look, I've got a personal brand. Certainly, our C-level team feels the same way. And, for us to have that reputation we're looking for and be that go-to holistic expense management partner, at the end of the day, we know we have a responsibility to do the right things in the channel. And like I said, with what we can do over and above the traditional portion of things, and with this being ChannelVision Magazine, and my association with the technology space, I hope, if nothing else, the audience understands we could do a lot more, on behalf of those clients that they have today. And invariably, like I said, there's, through that inventory exercise, Brady, we can illuminate other opportunities for procurement purposes. We can help them build that residual income, through the contract management component, for example, giving agents and partners read-only access to the portal And that way they know when the contract end dates are coming up on behalf of their clients. I don't think that that's necessarily something that's universally available or ubiquitous within the carrier portal experience that's out there today. Some carriers do make CEDs available, hosts don't. Why not come to a third party who can help you keep tabs on those things? Stay ahead of your renewal considerations, maintain your residuals, unearth new opportunities, become aware of new spend. Hey, look, it's not uncommon for, a client to either organically or through new staff circumvent the partner. With that visibility that we would render through our portal into that client spend, you're going to have a really good pulse on what's happening there. So, yeah, I mean, we're excited, Brady, ultimately. And like I said, this is step one and among many to follow, including the hiring of our channel chief, Nick Burgoyne, where we're looking to make a bigger impact and do something fundamentally different in this space and deliver. And that's ultimately all it boils down to. You have to execute, you have to be transparent and accountable and understand the sensitivity of the partnerships that you've been allowed to participate in at the hand of the channel.
Such kind of forward thinking by you and your team, Warren. If people want more information on SIB, a lot of these developments that you talked about, where can they go online?
Absolutely. Yeah, please. We're making changes quite readily to the website. So it's www.aboutsib.com. You'll see a lot more content being pushed out through our social media channels as well. We are going to have a physical presence at a lot of events that are going to be coming up here in short order through the TSD community, Brady, to the ChannelVision Expo and all the way down the line. So we're very, very excited. And but yeah, please do check us out. And any questions, by all means, certainly look me up on LinkedIn for sure. And look forward to hopefully helping anybody we can.
And once again, we're joined by Warren Reyburn, the SIB Fixed Cost Reduction Senior Vice President for the Technology Division. Warren, thank you so much for the time today.
Likewise, Brady. Thanks as always for your advocacy on our behalf and the opportunity here this afternoon to connect with you and your audience. Have a wonderful summer.
You as well. And while you guys are online checking out all the great things that SIB Fixed Cost Reduction has going on, don't forget to also visit ChannelVision Magazine. ChannelVisionMag.com. On there, you can find archived versions of these podcasts as well as CVTVs and webinars and lots of other great on-demand content right there on the website on ChannelVisionMag.com. And on behalf of SIB, of course, this has been a ChannelVision Magazine podcast. Everybody take care.